Hello twin flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Welcome to my channel, whether you're new or you're coming back. This is going to be a classic read where I'm checking what's going on with the energies of each of the twin collective and also what's going on with the energy of the connection at this time. At the end, I'll also post the messages between the twins with my Hermit Tarot deck, and I always start with an oracle card for each of the twins to see what's currently a hot topic, what do we need to know, what is the message from the higher self, etc, etc. Remember, this is a collective reading, so take what resonates for you and leave what doesn't. I don't say it enough on this channel. I do say it a lot more on my other channel. By the way, I have another channel and there's a handle to it in the description box. Basically, it's a channel designed for or dedicated to the monthly horoscopes for each of the zodiac signs, and also to some mindfulness related videos. This channel is of course dedicated to twin flames specifically. So yeah, just remember that if it doesn't fit, it doesn't feel good for you, or not feel good, doesn't feel right for you, it's not yours, right? But also keep an open mind, because I find a lot of times that even if the message is not truly for us, it helps us understand something around how other people are dealing with what they are going through, right? And they could be twin flames, they could be somebody else, right? Because generally it's the laws of nature, the cosmic laws are the same for everyone. Breaking news. Right? It's just that, yeah, it hits us differently as twins. It's like, the experience is brighter. We go through a lot more different events and experiences, right? But essentially, it's the nature of it, the way the energy works is the same. But it's important for us to be specialists as light workers, to be specialists in specific areas. To be able to bring our light out, to be able to help other people, right? Bring their light out, right? That's why it's important for us to go through it more intensely. A lot of times we pick up, as part of our mission in a specific incarnation, we pick up questions that are around, that belong to our generational karma, right? That is connected somehow to our Akashic records, to our own soul, and what it's been through in multiple lifetimes, right? There's so much there to unpack. So if it's not immediately for you, it's fine. Just maybe take a note for yourself. Or if you find it interesting, or it's, you're like curious about the subject, like I never heard about it, or I've never been through something like that, but I'm actually curious, right? There's probably something there for you. Okay, that was it for the beginning of the reading for my spiel, and now let's get to the reading. to the reading. I'm still in California, still in Big Bear. As you see me record this, actually, as this gets published, I'll probably be on my way to Nevada. I have an intense 2.5-3 days of being off the grid and digging up, hopefully, some cool crystals with some other divine feminines. It's gonna be off the charts, I know that for sure, but I'll definitely be outside of the space and possibility to record these videos for you guys. So that's why I'm recording a few up front, just so that you can keep up with the energies and you can get the message that you're looking for, and on a daily basis. This is I'm back. Hopefully everything's gonna go well and I'll jump right back into it. I'll be in Vegas for a few days. I really want to see the Grand Canyon this time. I'll try to jump on one of the shows, but I haven't seen, nothing has caught my eye yet, but we'll see, who knows. And yeah, of course I'll be decompressing after my intense experience, and I'll also continue preparing for my dance show. Yeah, another thing, I'm working as much as I'm moving a lot. If you're following me on Instagram, you can see how much I'm doing, and you know, how often I'm changing my locations these days, but I do continue working on my solo show that I'm gonna be doing in June. It's gonna be a mix of cha-cha and mambo. It's a fun song and I'm really excited. So yeah, I'm gonna be back in New York here in a couple of weeks, so I'll be able to practice on a proper floor and in person with my teacher to get like all the nuts and bolts in place. But for now, it's just like, how do I say this? Yeah, let's just move on with the reading. Good point. Let's keep me on point. Let's get a card for Divine Feminines first of all. I was trying to get the pictures in the frame, but it was a kind of a bit of a big compromise on whether you'll be able to see me or the pictures. But yeah, of course it does have a bear here. It has a moose and a deer on some other pictures, and literally every other house has some sort of decorations with bears because I'm a big bear around it, and I can only imagine that each house has something dedicated to the bear inside. It's funny, but kind of cute. Okay, what do we have for Divine Feminines? What do we need to know? What is coming up for Divine Feminines? A light grows brighter only by lighting another. Yes, this is a nudge or a wink in the direction of mission. Are you are you in mission, Divine Feminines? Are you progressing with your mission, or you are at the same spot where you were a year ago? And this is not to judge, but this is like, are you happy yourself with where you are, where you're going? Do you give yourself time for being creative, or at least for trying out different ways to connect with your tribe, with your audience? Because I know that obviously a lot of us are here on YouTube, but this is by far not the only way, not the only platform to find your audience, to do your light worker mission, to shine your light, and even to talk about twin flames. Yeah, I know YouTube is probably the biggest at the moment from like twin flame audience perspective, but definitely not the only one. So see what feels through, like what feels right, how the new themes are emerging for you, what kind of means of media are you intuitively guided to use for it, or do you enjoy doing? It can be creative arts, it can be writing, it can be videos, I don't know, maybe even commenting on some existing materials, maybe start there, right? Like whatever drives you. Maybe you already follow some interesting accounts and you see some interesting conversations there. There are all kinds of community platforms too that some of the twins are doing, and you can, or light workers in general, and you can contribute there, and people will notice you and they'll pay attention. That's a hint for somebody. Okay, let's see. And that will help your own story so much. You know, it's kind of like, it's this ebb and flow of where our own story helps our contribution to the collective and to working with other people, but it works the other way around too. When we work with other people or we interact with other people in our personal stories, it helps, not even in personal, but yeah, when we interact with our audience, when we talk to people, when we see what they're going through, when they turn to us for some advice, some help, some support, and we do that, that helps our own story and our own raising the vibration and the whole twin flame journey, really, even with that person. Although the mission is, of course, a very big part of the journey. A lot of times we're focusing on the person, but it's actually so much bigger than that, and a lot of us realize that. But this is what I was talking about right now. This is a more specific guidance or ideas or questions to ask yourself when you get down to it on the, you know, on a daily basis in your daily life, on how do you build your life. That was my question. I know that a few years back when I discovered that I was a twin, that was like this whole, my world was like going, it was upended really. And a big question for me was, since I'm a Taurus, and I'm generally have a lot of earth in my chart, was how do I build my life from here? And not even from like the cosmic point of view, but from my daily life. How's my life supposed to change? From my corporate environment, and yes, doing a bit of fitness, doing a bit of dancing, but how is that spending time with friends? How's that supposed to change so I can fulfill my mission, so I can grow as a twin, as a light worker, so I can live my best life, so I even know what it means for me, you know? Like, that's important, seriously. For masculines, we have coming soon, welcome to the next ascending age. So the new cycle, we just had new moon in Taurus. It was pretty powerful moon. Speaking of Taurus again, well, you know, it just comes up. So this is a reminder I'm hearing for divine masculines that you are supposed to pay attention to what comes into your reality, to what kind of people you're meeting these days, right? What kind of questions come up for you. And even if those questions did not interest you before, so you may be ignoring them and they're just passing by and you're like, yeah, this is not my thing really, not my cup of tea. No, do the opposite this cycle, because this is your new level of ascension. That's the whole point, to be open to completely new experiences, to something that you never considered before, right? And I'm not saying you just jump on it straight ahead, but consider it for yourself. See how you can, when you when you hear it, when you think about, when you feel through it, what kind of emotions is it giving you, right? Like, try to go from that meditative, intuitive place of why is it in my space right now? What am I supposed to know about this? What am I supposed to do with this information, right? Something big is coming up and you will need this new information to be able to deal with it. I don't want to say properly, because that's kind of a judgmental word, but in a way that will help further growth and uncovering your potential and things like that, and just making you a happier person, right? The more we discover about ourselves and what we can do and what life is all about, the happier we become automatically, just like that. Okay, now let's get into the energy for divine feminines, and I'm going to be using my Tarot of the Mystic Moments. I love this deck. I haven't used it for a few days, so I'm back on it. What's happening with divine feminine right now? Five of Swords. It's a very different art from like the conventional tarot. So Three of Wands. It's always interesting what kind of messages are going to come up. I'm still getting to know this deck for sure. Oh boy, just talking about learning about potential. You see how huge this figure is? It's like it's going into this cosmic level. It's setting intentions, but not like, okay, so how do I want to improve my nutrition in the next month or this year? It's more like, I don't know, let's say this month in the US, it's mental health month, the month of mental health. Anyway, it's dedicated to mental health questions, right? And this is like, how can you change the situation in my local community, maybe in my country, to facilitate better information about mental health and how to cope with things and where to go to, right? Giving ideas. Maybe how do I look at it from, if I already know enough or I've done enough in general, like maybe I can take specific demographics, right? I saw the other day an idea that like one of the channels is going to be doing something on mental health for new moms, right? Like, wow, that's a big topic. Me personally, I feel, if I'm going from my own experience, the theme of emotional abuse and narcissists and the related conditions is not explained enough. Not explained enough for people to be able to protect themselves, and not to be explained enough for people to understand those who have those conditions, right? What is going on with them, why they are the way they are, how to accept those people, how to show compassion, but with healthy um, healthy distance, right? Healthy borders. I keep forgetting my words. It's weird. Um, yeah, so this is one. And Five of Swords, to me, it's very interesting because there is a masculine and a feminine here. And it's kind of like, I see this, to me, it reminds me about like 19th century romantic drama. She's got a flower and some sort of a letter. He's like in the shadow, like there's like some secret romance story, right? And feminines, to me, I immediately see that feminines are reviewing these kind of experiences in their life, or the present, past, maybe something that they fantasized about because they read it in literature, saw it in a movie. Like, what is this beautiful romance story, right? Like, how romantic is that? Ooh, beautiful. I don't know, Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. I love the movie. Is it Victoria and Albert? Young Victoria, maybe. I think it's Young Victoria, where, of course it's fiction, but still, Prince Albert was sending her letters with like musical notes from like Schubert and some other modernistic composers. Like that was a sign of love. It wasn't like, oh, I love you so much. It was that kind of subtle emotions, right? That's what it was right to do, something like that. Even it was on the border, let's put it that way, considering his status and her status, but still, it was wow, right? Like, oh, how romantic is that? He's sending you music. When he's playing, he's thinking about her, all this stuff, right? So it's something like that. And the feminines are now reconsidering what that is actually, what is romantic love, right? Like, what is just a pretty picture versus what is actually true and honest and real, right? Because in real life, life happens, they say, right? It's not all roses and unicorns and butterflies, right? It's all like this big rose here that she's got, and beautiful dresses and balls, right? It has balls like, dance events. It's life can be rough. It can throw us off our path, our ideas, our fantasies, our dreams, right? So it's like seeing the reality of it versus the fantasy. Very interesting. Okay, let's see what is going on with the masculine energy today. Three of Pentacles, but it's actually also a different deck where Three of Pentacles has a different vibe that it usually does. Getting a message immediately that I can handle it myself. Okay, got two more cards. We have the Chariot and Eight of Cups in reverse. Like, yeah, I cannot, like something is in the way of success here. I can't really handle it on my own. It's like I want to be quick. I want to progress very fast with this project. This like it has actual money here, so maybe it has to do with money, right? Like there was some sort of idea and they wanted to just jump on it and get a quick result, right? And be successful pretty quickly, but it doesn't work that way. So the universe is showing them that they're supposed, like something is not right in the setup of this project or collaboration if other people are involved, right? Like you need to get this set up right. Like something is wrong with the idea or your approach, right? Like go back to the drawing board and see where you can adjust or what doesn't feel right. Like look into it in more detail so that you can actually explore how to get it to a good place, how to get it to a place where it will be a success, right? Because you can leave it as is, but there is a chance that it's not going to be as quick, as successful as you want it to be, right? Like, instead of, look at this image, right? He's losing this coins from his head, almost not noticing that. He's just like busy and important, like thinking about something important, something very serious. And the coins keep dropping off. So it's like, instead of like several coins, you maybe just getting one, right? While you're not paying attention to details, or you decided like, or maybe you signed like a package deal or whatever it was, right? Take it how it resonates, divine masculines. Someone has their own agenda here, or maybe just the way it's set up is not going to work. Like, maybe from a legislative perspective, maybe like taxation or something else, right? It can be anything. So just revisit. It's a good idea. It's not that the idea is wrong. Do not give up on it. It's just the technicalities of it. Okay, I'm gonna take the this deck again and see what's the connection energy like today. What's the connection energy like today for the twins? 9 of Cups. That's interesting. Very summary card, actually. And in the Northern Hemisphere, we do have summer coming up just a few days from now. In the United States, it's considered that it starts with the Memorial Day weekend, which is this upcoming weekend. Let's see what else we got here. We have the Fool, 2 of Pentacles, beautiful, 9 of Cups. So the twins are open to this new phase of their life, to this new cycle. They wanna, like, look even at this 2 of Pentacles. Usually it's juggling, but look at her at the top of the world, basically, right? On top of the, well, to me, of course, it looks like New York City. Kind of like, yeah, I got this. I can go higher now. Like, I can be a badass, right? And the Fool here is also interesting because it's connected to nature. Like, all of this are so much connected to nature. And this is like also trying new heights, right? Trying something I would never go for before. So this is like, this is of course still a leap of faith for the twins, but it's a conscious leap of faith. It's like, I would have never done that before, but now I want to try it. Now I'm curious, I'm excited, I'm ready. I feel like there is some sort of wish fulfillment under the surface of this seemingly scary or misunderstood experiences, right? Something big and beautiful is behind it, and the twins are ready to take it on. Okay, messages from divine masculines to divine feminines. Okay, we got a couple. I hope you'll wait for me, and if I ask you to stay, would you leave? So you see, it's kind of double-sided. It's like, this is like, are you waiting for me over there? And this is like, if I ask you to come over here, would you do that or not? This is, to me, this emphasize the distance between the twins. The physical distance, could be emotional distance, of course. And divine masculine contemplating, because somehow your lives are pretty different right now. It's not an immediate match. It's not an immediate answer, like how to organize your lives, right? So there is a question of like, am I supposed to adjust to where you are, go over there? Which, like, obviously in real life means probably changing a lot in your life, right? Not just geographical distance, though this could be the case, right? But changing, I don't know, lifestyle, job, set of friends, could be something else, right? Or am I supposed to just chill and you will be able to come here? Or if I ask you to leave that life behind and come over here to be with me, maybe you will say yes, right? Like, there is a fear there, of course, like maybe none of it is gonna work out, right? None of those two scenarios, right? But also hope that you'll wait for me, right? Like, we'll figure it out. And divine masculine actually wants to figure it out for themselves because they are the masculine energy, right? So they really want to be that in that position where they can figure it out for the both of you, to find that compromise, to give some options, right? Not be like very blunt, like, you know, if you want this, you gotta come live with me, or you gotta follow these kind of principles of my life or lifestyle, right? No, it's like, okay, I can see what you're doing, I can see what you are up to, right? I really love that, I respect that, I admire it, and these are the options that I have for us, that I see for us, right? Something along those lines. So divine masculine saying that brainstorming mode. They haven't figured it out yet, but they want to. They are going to. They believe in that now. Messages from feminines to masculines. That's too many cards. Okay. So we have, now is not the time. Reach out and no. So yeah, this is a bit of an internal conflict where divine feminine is like, you know, like realistically with my conscious mind, I understand that, like you see, these are like opposite kind of messages, right? And there's also a big no. I want us to be in touch. I want us to take it forward where we are, right? I want us to be more present in each other's life. But I also realize that now is not the time. I can feel that in my gut, and I'm supposed to trust it, right? So it's like this little bit of, should I trust this? Should I trust this? Should I do this? Should I do that? But you know what? The fact that now is not the time doesn't mean that you cannot reach out. See how your twin is doing. Send them some love. If it doesn't feel appropriate to do it in the physical world, you can always do it telepathically. Send some good vibes, send some support, that you know that you guys are mean a lot to each other, and that you know, you're on your way, that you're figuring it out, that it will happen somehow one day, and you believe in that. That will be so important for the masculine right now. That kind of support, even if it's just energetic, even if it's just telepathic. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. It's already a long reading, but lots of interesting thoughts. Hopefully I'll get my thoughts together and will be better with English tomorrow. I've been doing a lot of Ukrainian and French lately, so it's a little bit like it kind of overlaps somewhere in my head sometimes. But I love you guys, and I'll be back with more readings very, very soon.